today. But now let us go into our next segment, which is What's Trending. And in studio with me is Raymond Mude. He calls himself The Voice. Good morning, Raymond. How are you doing?
Good morning. I did not expect that. On national television, I said.
Okay. All right. The Voice says that should be said on national television. But anyway, now a lot has been said on the interwebs with regard to the taxes, the new taxes being introduced, the 2024-2025 finance bill that is being yet to be discussed and be taken to the National Assembly. Yeah. What are Kenyans saying with regard to the new taxes that are being introduced?
I think, Aseto, what Kenyans are saying deserves a whole show, because Kenyans online are not at all happy about the finance bill of 2024. Remember, it proposes a lot of taxes and a lot of changes, rather, in the tax regime. Particularly of interest is the bread tax that the president has, I realize, has now said he does not support it. But then Kenyans are also questioning how then did it get to the floor of parliament while he has his foot soldiers there. He has a majority leader, chair of Finance and National Planning Committee. All this is what some questions that Kenyans are asking online. And particularly that video of him saying that he wants to raise the tax from 14% to 22%, regardless of what Kenyans will say. Of course, he was addressing Harvard students, and that video has been trending. It has been doing rounds online because Kenyans are also asking, regardless of what Kenyans are saying, is that really what we want to hear from the head of state? Of course, questions arise about how then this will be administered to a country that has also been facing a lot of challenges financially, debt. All these questions arise even as economists try to debate about this one. And Twitter also has its fair share of economics and economists as well. And Kenyans are also asking about that. But also that video of him talking about, the Harvard student posed a question to him about taxes, and he said, "You've been listening to the opposition." That particular bit was also trending. And generally around the allocations that we will see in the budget that is upcoming. Yeah.
And the president said that Kenyans have been accustomed to believe that we pay more taxes than everybody, yet reality is we are actually paying less than our peers, you know. So let's just see what Kenyans continue to say with regard to that. But still on matters budget, the Office of the Deputy President has requested for additional budgets for renovations at the Harambee Avenue office, that is the Harambee Annex office, and also at his residential house. What are Kenyans saying?
Well, this one also attracted a lot of backlash. Remember, Aseto, when we were talking about school capitation, there was a story we did about school capitation and the delay of school releasing, the government releasing funds to schools. And now they've declared that there is no allocation to the school feeding program, which was about just shy of 5 billion. And the allocation that is going to the Office of the Deputy President for this renovation is being summed up to be around 2.6 billion. See, Kenyans are questioning, how then do we not have the money to pay for school feeding program, or rather to fund the school feeding program, but we have money for office renovation? I don't know how much it will cost to renovate an office, but can you imagine kitchen equipment worth 2.5 million shillings? These are the questions Kenyans are asking online. And I'm surprised that actually people, people you'd consider bystanders on Twitter, are also having these figures, and they're having them real time, and they're all summing up. I think it is that we have come to that period of Kenyans now talking about the economy at deeper levels. And of course, in the run-up to the budget and the Finance Act, which is now a bill, we hope to see some more action about that and around it, and we'll definitely report on that. But Kenyans online are quite unhappy.
You asked how much it would cost to do renovations. I'd say, I don't know about the Deputy President's office. I can only talk about my house. But that notwithstanding, let's go to the fact that prison break happened again in Siaya County. And what is being said, we keep on seeing these breaks happening over and over again. What are Kenyans saying? And are some also trying to offer solutions? Because Twitter and trends, people seem to be having solutions.
In fact, I said the right term was movie-like prison break. Because the inmates at Siaya, a total of 12 inmates from Siaya, a prison in Siaya, escaped by, they were working, inmates are sent to work in farms to pave ways, to clear drainages as part of community service. So these inmates are working at a farm, and they use the farm tools to threaten the warden. From what is being reported, they use the farm tools to threaten the warden, who then seized possession of his firearm, and they made away in the farms. And now Kenyans are asking, how did this happen? Of course, there is that conversation being, and Kenyans online are very quick. They've even made posters about a Kenyan version of Prison Break. There's just so much going on about this story, but that dramatic disappearance of those 12 inmates, Kenyans are asking, how did it happen? And inmates all around the country also do community service in various parts of the country, you know, in and around state lodges, government offices. So how sure are we that all the other inmates will not break away from prison? But that particular bit was trending, but Kenyans did not really take it that seriously from the comments. It was really about a Prison Break Kenyan version, and that movie-like bit about that break. But it was really interesting to see the comments around it.
And finally, Raymond, now we have the Ugandan president in the country who will be meeting the president today. He landed yesterday. What are Kenyans saying? And also just maybe what are our Ugandan counterparts expecting if at all that information is online?
Yes, of course those photos were trending yesterday. And that particular post by Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who also doubles as a foreign affairs minister. And of course, Kenyans brought up that Kenya versus Uganda war again, because Kenyans on Twitter do not have decorum at all. And we've seen Kenya versus Rwanda, Kenya versus Tanzania. We want to see what trends arise from Kenya versus Uganda, especially now that the president is here. And the photos that will be taken around that, I'm sure they will be trending by the end of the week. And we wait to see what Kenyans will say about that. But that particular photo and post by PCS Musalia Mudavadi has been trending. And even as Kenyans expect to see what kind of discussions go around this one, and of course cross-border trade, such discussions, economy, we wait to see that how that pans out. But Kenyans generally are igniting the Kenya-Uganda war again.
And you know, Uganda is actually one of Kenya's largest trading countries and partners. Therefore, this meeting we get to see how it will bolster more collaboration between the two countries, and also the fact that we've always had issues along the border. Maybe this will also be an opportunity to address that. But before I let you go, now we have the Limuru 3 that would be happening tomorrow. We've had what the Deputy President has said, what other leaders, Jeremiah Kioni and Martha Karua, are saying as well. I mean, what should we expect from that? And what exactly are Kenyans saying on these spaces online?
Well, the Limuru 3 is largely speculative. You know, in politics, especially in Kenya, politics is very, very speculative because, I mean, a day in politics is a lot of time. And now there was those videos doing rounds of Senator Sifuna, Jeremiah Kioni, as you rightly said, and other leaders blasting the government for spending in all the policies that have made. And on this other side, the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, was trending because of that video and that particular sentiment about one man, 1 shilling, 1 vote. And Kenyans have also been questioning what is the origin and what kind of taste does this bring, especially at a time when the country is grappling with the aftermath of the floods, and all these political conversations going around seem to be ill-timed, as from the comments we are seeing online. And the concern really is, what exactly is the government doing to address the concerns of the Kenyans? The Limuru 3 meeting is a political meeting like any other, as is poised. I've not had a chance personally to speak to any of those players, but we will try and reach out and see what exactly they will say, and probably do a video and field reactions from it. And we wait to see how that goes. But Kenyans are also anticipating some statements there and some backlash in terms of people criticizing government, especially those in the opposition, led by Jeremiah Kioni and company. So we wait to see what reactions that will elicit, but we'll be heavily monitoring this as well.
Yeah, and on that there is the contentious issue of 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling, which is being discussed across borders, be it the opposition, the government. But we wait to see how that will trend tomorrow. We wait to see, and be sure that KTN News will be bringing you the very latest from Limuru 3, as leaders there will be discussing various issues, including that issue of one man, one vote, one shilling. Thank you very much, Raymond Muthe, from the digital desk for your insights on this. But now let us take a short commercial break. When we come back, we go straight to Spice FM, who will be handling Member of Parliament for Kathiani and a Deputy Minority Leader in the National Assembly as they revisit Linturi's impeachment and the fake fertilizer. Don't go too far. You come back. That is the discussion right here.